Hello YouTube, this is JerseyCTF II, and we're going to be doing Buster, which was a web challenge from the 2022 JerseyCTF, in which we're given a web page where we have to perform a directory brute force attack in order to get our flag. However, the real challenge comes in when we're given random HTTP status codes, and by random, well, they were random, but we're given pretty much all of the status codes, so we can't really pinpoint which page we have to look for. The way to bypass it is we just kind of create our own script, because to the best of my knowledge, Gobuster doesn't have the ability to look inside the web page. So the reason why we're looking inside the web page is because we know the flag starts with the letter JCTF, so we know that our script can look through each page, and if it finds that text within the page, it'll print. You could have it print the text page, or in my case, I just did the name of the page and the URL. So without further ado, I'll get started. So first thing to do, this challenge isn't live anymore, so we just have to find it, and I wanted to show how to build it in case you're not familiar with it. So we just Google JerseyCTF, be the first link. You go to the bottom, and it is you go to write-ups, to go to the GitHub page, go to the main page, make this bigger, and we go to web category, and it's called Buster. And then we go to the challenge. Okay. I was trying to read what this note said. Provided by Okay, there's just a note, I guess, to not be given, though. It makes sense. So we get it here, and we can, there's a whole thing, and I know flags there, but this is pretty much the code. So I won't spend too much on it. You can if you like, but it's just, it uses the Flask web framework, which is a Python framework to build web pages. So click raw, highlight the whole thing, copy it, and we're going to open up a terminal here, close this. I went to the desktop by mistake. Make this bigger. I'm gonna call this site. And we're going to call this Buster. And just paste it. The one thing I like to do, because you could, I believe, use this with app run, but I'm running on this one, Kali Linux, so you can do the same or run on a separate server, however you like. So we're going to do if name and equals main. You just do app run. You could put your localhost and whatever port you want. I'm going to do 5,000. You could do 8,000, 80. I'm going to do 5,000 because Flask likes to run 5,000. And then if we close this and run it with Python 3, we see that it's running. You can highlight it or control click, and there we go. This is a challenge. My website has lots of sub pages. If you can find them all, click the source, you don't see anything. So that's that, and you see, there we go. If you weren't sure how to add it, you could just do like, what is Flask framework? There's this first page right here, what is Flask Python, and you see that it does the same thing. App run, it doesn't do the URL, and as you see, you can specify it, but it does the 5,000 by default. So, you know, could do it either way. You could just do app run and have it run. But enough of that. So we have this running. I'm going to leave that there. Then we're going to make that bigger. Alt Shift S. I'm going to call this brute. So we're going to use Gobuster, and I'm going to use this small list from seclist. You can use the medium, but I'm going to stick to the small. I usually like to start with the medium, but because we're going to be building our own, I'm going to stick with the small. And we have the URL, so Gobuster dir mode. The link, I'm going to save it to a file called dir.text, and I'm gonna remove this, and you see that it won't run. Oh, never mind, it ran. And I first did this, it didn't run. Oh, there we go. Because it's giving us way too many status codes, 401. So you can use the wildcard switch, and you see, and that we are just given way too many status codes. 402, 403. This means forbidden. I think this is a reader, another redirect. We have 200, but if you go to any of them, even the 200. So let's go here. You go to any of them, it just gives you the name. Just does welcome to, and then the name and exclamation mark. If we add a slash, it says not found. So we know that we're not looking for directories. Just this. So how do we go through them? We could try blacklisting. So whenever I get a lot of status codes, if it's the same one, I like to do a blacklist because Gobuster doesn't let you do that. But in this case, they're all random. So this won't work. So in this case, as far as I know, Gobuster doesn't have that capability. So we have to build our own. So this is the directory I'm going to use. You can use any of them, but if you're not sure where to find it, just Google seclist GitHub, and it should be the first one here. You could copy this repo, and it will be under discovery, web content, and it's click one of these, right? It should be towards the bottom. So I use this one, and let's go ahead and create it. So first, call your file whatever you like. I'm going to call it brute. Delete it. And first we need the request module. That's so that we can actually request URL. There's other, I think there's URL lib. And then we're going to set our variable, just so that it's easier. Our URL variable, 5000. And make sure I got this right. Do they? I'm pretty sure they don't, but if we do head, nah. Actually, let's do less. Okay, I thought they started with a slash. Q. So we add the slash ourselves. Okay, if we don't, we could do it later, but it won't, might not. Sometimes a slash could really throw off your whole script. So from here, there's different ways to open up a Python file. I'm not a programmer, but I do know some Python. So we could do read large text files fast Python. Google that. It's a couple ones that use like processes, like different, like think of nmap process, not nmap. Forgot what it's called. It's like map async or something like that. But there's other tools. But I like this one from Geeks for Geeks. This is a standard one, right? So you open up the file. There's one way to do it, but I like this one. So we would open as file, and then for each one. So do that. And then I need my file name. As file. And then for each line in the file, so this is our file variable and we're opening it for reading. So for each line in that file, we're gonna request the site, and this is where we go, and we're gonna set that variable. We request dot get URL plus each line and strip. The strip, what it does is removes any white space on the left and the right. It avoids errors. Trust me, sometimes it just doesn't read. There's like a space or something, and it adds it. And you know, there's many times where I missed a directory, or you know, because of it. Okay, there we go. Fix that typo. And now we can test this out. Let's see. So we could do print request site.url. And there we go. See, it's adding them right. And we can even check this. Let's go to this link. There we go. We know it's working. So, and if we go here, you see, our server actually, we give it a lot. Run that again. Clear that. So now we know it's doing the right thing. So now, if, now, this is where, so we can look for the word JerseyCTF in request site.text. So if you want to see what request site text looks like, so print request site text is just the text of the web page, like the HTML code. See, you saw it kind of quickly, so it just prints this. And you know, if you weren't sure, you could Google something like look for text inside, now look for string inside text files. And it's the first one. I was going to forget to specify Python, but and again, geeks for geeks. So we have this text and have the string coding, and then it goes for line inside file 1, and then if the string is inside the line, then yeah, so pretty simple. So we go if, so we know our flag starts with JerseyCTF. For if in, right, in request site.text, we're going to print the request site. I didn't do this before, but I'll do it now. Print the text, actually print the line, print, and I typo that, URL, and then print the text. And then we're gonna exit. And you know what? I was gonna do it with time, but let's do something different. So read large text files, Python, geeks for geeks. This one. Let's go back here. I wanted to do this. We're gonna take time. We could just do the time command, but I want to do it this way. So we're gonna do start, and then we have to import time module. Yeah, I have the thing of always clearing my terminal. Import time, start, and then we're gonna call it. Excuse me, we could do this here. N equals time, and let's see, N equals time, and then we're going to subtract it. Then print, yeah, let's do that. And let's run it. and see if it's working. Okay, so it's going through it. We could look through this. See, it's getting bigger and bigger. So I believe any of the directories will find it. So see, we have 202, 404. Let's see. I think it takes about almost 2 minutes. I like this. The server actually goes through each partners. Actually, while we wait, let's check out this sweat script. Check out the script they use, JerseyCTF. All the way down. Write-ups. You can learn a lot from reviewing how these challenges were made. It's my favorite challenge, Cookie Factory. We do Buster. Did you do it yet? Not yet. So yeah, that's the website. If we go to it, that was the first website. It's done. I remember, I think it was taken down on Saturday. So see, does multi-processing, pool, import, pool. So see if we can read this. So if arguments, so you can run system arguments, so you could print out the URL, number of threads you want to use, and the file. And it tells us to use this list, which is one I'm using. And if it doesn't equal 4, it just exits. Let's see. Then it says the first argument is the URL variable. Second argument. Come on. Well, let me make sure it's still. Aha! There it is. We'll keep reviewing it. So the number of threads, however you want to do, it's an integer. Print out the flag. So name, that's the strip to avoid any errors. R, this is just a variable. Like mine's called request site. Then it does request get the URL. This F is so that it replaces the variable URL plus the name. Make this bigger. Same thing. If is the JCTF text is inside the text, then print the text. And then this is where the script begins. So this is the function to check the name. So use the process will check all the pages with names from the file. So with open name as F file. Yeah, there's short variables. I like really let's see. I like really naming my variables like very descriptive, as descriptive as they can be. I remember seeing a video on it from Keep On Coding, and because it used to do just short variables like I, J, K, N, and sometimes you just get lost. You forget what a variable did. So I like to be descriptive with my variables, because I could have ran like maybe as text file. I was a little lazy here, text file, but file self-explanatory. Each line, request site. So that way I kind of know what I'm doing, all right? And I don't lose track. So in this case, makes sense, start, end, right? So I could have done N here and F, but I really wanted to keep just good practice. You don't have to do it. It's just something I like to do. I picked up. So this took about 126 seconds, 2 minutes and 6 seconds. And we have the site, we have the name, we have the site that it has. We go to it. There it is. And look at it. Let's see. Can we go all the way to the bottom? That's the last site we got. And that's a 404 status. So there's a lot of 404s. 404 usually means not found. So, and we can look at that. So here, check page. I think this means timeout. Let's see. Uses multi-threaded. So yeah, so this is like uses multi-threaded to run different processes at the same time. So it goes a little bit faster, and then this calls the function. You know, so that's the flag. So if we look at the challenge itself from before, see from flash, import flash, and import random, and then this is the root page, and then this is the path. So if the path equals KGB graphics, then return the flag and the status code. So the status code is force. So because as you saw, where you go? If we did 127.1.1000, I think it was just blush. It just returns blush, no matter what, right? If otherwise, return the path, whatever the path is, right? But you could write anything on here, I believe, and it'll return that. But if you just add a slash, that's a true 404. You do console, refresh this, that's the true 404 status code. But in this case, it just picks the random choice on any of these. 404 is there. So it just forces the 404 and any other status code. So even if we pick a status code that wasn't under, like a 501 or or like a 20, I don't know, I can think of one right now. 402 is there. But any other these status codes in between, it wouldn't have found anything. So it's a fun little challenge. Pretty much that's the whole thing. And cover this as the flag. So hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Then enjoy the rest of your day.